I have the honor and the privilege, Jena, really, when I'm behind the scenes to kind of get to know the person a little bit, more about them and who they are. Do you mind taking a moment and give me like the backstory? Like, I guess tell me the narrative. Give me the narrative of who is Jena, what has Jena's journey been like, and what is Jena up to today?
Excellent. Let me first say, hello to everyone, and It's a pleasure to be here. And I really, really appreciate the opportunity to talk to the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. And so to the tribe, keep pushing on. So who am I? Shay, as a single mother now, I worked in corporate for over 30 years. I was married, had my daughter, and I really thought I was climbing and pushing towards a life that would be safe, would be secure, that everything that I had hoped for all the sacrifices that I had made, that I would go off and, just live happily ever after. Mm-hmm. And it didn't happen like that.
Oh, no.
And so at the point of my career, I was the first African-American to hold the role, the first female to hold the role. And all of a sudden, everything started going down the tubes. I got divorced a week after walking out of divorce court. My job ended. And there I was, stuck after all the sacrifices I had done. So I had to make a decision for myself at that point. Because what I realized is that no matter how you depend on your job, how you depend on your marriage or people in your lives, sometimes they're just not going to be there for you. And it's going to be up to you. And that's what I had to do. And so it was at that point that I had to decide what I was going to do. And that's how I ended up going into entrepreneurship.
Wow. Thanks so much for sharing. One of the things that we know, Jena, is that success means different things to different people. And I know you help folks be on the pathways to abundance, but on that pathway, they find success. Take a moment and what does success mean to you? When you hear the word success, what does Jena hear? What does Jena think? And what does it mean to you?
Shay, what I think, what I feel success is how we define it for ourselves. So for me, I think about all the things that are important to me for living the life that I really want, involved in the things that I want to be involved in, and really for every step that I take and for every ladder that I have to climb, when I get to that ladder, I know that that's success for me. But it's different for everyone. And that's what I think is the beauty of abundance, is when you understand the abundance principle in life, success is not what's defined by anybody else. When I was climbing that ladder, everybody had defined that as success. That you get married, you go to school, you get married, you get that corporate job, and you work and work and work and work, and that's success. But if you don't feel fulfillment on the inside, if you don't feel real joy, that it can't be successful for you. So for me, it's about feeling joy in everything that I do.
I love it. Feeling joy in everything you do. Well, I tell you what, I'm excited to give me the cue. We got to get started. We're going to learn how to do this. We get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's
go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or be killed and eaten. Also, every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. You've heard it before. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be what? You better be running. That's right. You better be running. Life is about meaning, and meaning is about service. Isn't that the reason why we're all here? Isn't that what we're all searching for? 2013, the Peak Performance Institute was created. 5,000 clients who we've helped turn their idea into a reality, their reality into a business, their business into a movement, impacting 5.7 million lives around the world. Imagine that! My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Network, the world's largest organization for the well-being of an entrepreneur. And as we always say, our mission at the Happy Entrepreneur Network, our mission is to inspire, empower, and provide resources for the entrepreneur to live a balanced life and execute their vision for the people they were called to serve. And our mantra, I love our belief. Everyone should have a belief statement. Our belief is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. With that being said, let's get started. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we have a mission. And our mission is to inspire, our mission is to empower, and our mission is to provide busy entrepreneurs with the resources necessary in order for you to really execute the vision for the people you were called to serve. And this morning, this evening, tonight, it doesn't matter what time it is where you are right now. You have the one and only, the fabulous one, the brilliant one, the one that takes you on the pathway to abundance, none other than Jena L. Bell. What's up, Jena?
What's up, Shay Brown? How are you, my dear? I am so excited to be here.
Well, thank you so much. It's a great day to be alive, right? We're both alive. We're both here. Now, where are you located?
So I am located in the Washington, D.C. area.
Ah, cool beans. And I'm just curious, Jena, on this journey, there's something we call today is my January 1st. That's one of the core values of the Happy Entrepreneur Show, is that today is my January 1st, and that January 1st represents a day that you decide to make a decision to get started towards something that's going to change your life or change your business. And it means different things. Some people are getting started in their health. Today's their January 1st. They're going to go to the gym. Some folks are getting started in their marketing. Today's their January 1st. They're going to get started with that new marketing plan. Some folks are going to get started in their finance. But today is your January 1st. Today is my January 1st. It's one of our mantras. Jena, if you can, take us to that moment where you had your January 1st day, that moment where you made a decision that entrepreneurship, being an entrepreneur, was going to have to work for you, and you're going to have to be happy. Give us a little of the story, if you will.
Absolutely. But let me first pause just a second and let me just say hello to your marvelous Happy Entrepreneurship tribe. And Shay, I really want to commend you for everything that you're doing. I watch the show almost every night.
Thank you.
And I have seen some magnificent guests on your show, and I'm so excited to be in the midst and sharing the stage with so many of those fabulous people and colleagues and some mentors. So I just want to commend you on the work that you're doing and everything you're doing to help entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much, Jena. Appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So my January 1st, well, it was at a point, Shay, when I was at the lowest point that I think I've ever been. I had just gotten out of a very bad divorce, and I thought that, yay, I'm free, I can move on with my life and everything's going to be great. Well, exactly 7 days after walking out of divorce court, I got to my office. I wasn't even at my office. I was somewhere else. I got a call, and they gave me the unfaithful news that my job would be ending. And I was devastated. I was excited. I was sad. All of those things started going through my mind. And about 2 or 3 months after that, it really hit me on the magnitude of what had happened. And I remember someone saying to me, much earlier than that. And they had said, Jena, it's just not your season. And at the time, it made me angry, absolutely. But I began to really think about what they were saying and what that really meant. And what they really meant was that somebody else was determining when I would bloom. Somebody else would determine when I would have a harvest. So no matter what I would do, right, somebody else got to determine my success or my happiness or my security. It was at that point, as I laid there in the middle of the night, scared, lonely, and trying to keep it all together, that I decided I never, ever wanted to be in that situation again, where somebody else would be able to determine when I could bloom, when my season was. And it was at that point that I knew that I had to do something for myself. I had to do something for my family that was different. And I decided that my path would be through entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. And I knew that being divorced now without the job, that it was up to me. And so I had to move forward. And that was really the beginning for me.
Wow. Thanks so much for sharing that and sharing what your January 1st day was. For those folks that are out there listening and watching right now, look right below the video and put these words. Today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. Because you get to start. Just like Jena, she got started. For some of you, it's all about getting started. Jena, when you made that decision, I guess the question I have is, what were the steps you took to get started in your business and to be able to maintain where you are today?
The way I got started, I will say this, that I think is so critical. As you are beginning to think about entrepreneurship, it's a lot of sacrifice, but you got to know your why. You have to know your why. And once you know your why, you have to have a vision. And I can tell you that even in the depths of all of my misery, there was a vision that kept coming to me. And it was a vision that got more and more vivid over time. And as I began to think about that vision and I began to think about my why, I knew that those would be the stepping stones to get me where I needed to go. So I think in knowing your why, in having a vision, and then thirdly, which is so critical, is knowing your purpose. And it was in the midst of all of the trials and all the storms that I discovered what my purpose would be, which is why I'm so passionate now about helping others discover what that purpose is. So those were the three things for me that really got me started, because as I began to then focus on my purpose, it began to open up imagination and thoughtfulness and ideas on how I could serve the people that I believed I was called to serve.
You know, that's so important, Jena. And as I'm listening to you right now, and I see Kim Warren Martin says hello. She's out there. Cheryl Diana's out there. Lindsay Bivens is out there cheering you on right now. Doretha is out there. Tashika's out there. Felicia says, today is my January 1st. Michelle Pillar's watching. Patricia McKeenan, I see you out there, by the way. Sandy Sanders is always a pleasure, by the way. As they're listening to you right now, what would you say that someone needs to do to get started now? No matter where they are in life, what would be your advice? Do you have 1, 2, or 3 ideas that you would like to share? I mean, you've been through some things, and I didn't know you were going to say all this, so thanks for being authentic. Thanks for being real, Jena, and thanks for opening up to all of the happy entrepreneur community. That really means a lot, and it says so much about you and your organization, Pathways to Abundance. So my question is, what would you tell the entrepreneur out there today? Today is my January 1st is what they're saying. What advice would you give to them?
The first piece of advice that I would give to anyone that's thinking about entrepreneurship right about now, and that is not only know your why and know your purpose, right? Discover that purpose, but then begin to understand what it is that you want, I think there are two important questions that you have to ask yourself. What do you want, and how are you going to get there? And because if you don't know what you want from entrepreneurship, if you don't have an end vision of what that looks like, the people you're going to serve, the products, all of that, then you'll spend a lot of your time just circling around and not really landing. So you have to have an end goal in mind of what it is you want from entrepreneurship. The second thing is to put your your big boy pants on and your big girl pants on, because this is not for the faint at heart. So you got to be all in. You got to decide right off that you're going to be all in. And then the third thing is know the problem that you're going to solve. For any entrepreneur to be successful, you have to know what is the problem that you're going to solve, and then the creativity comes and how you're going to solve it. And how are you going to be the answer to somebody else's problem?
I love it. I love it. We're here with none other than the one and the only Jena L. Bell, as she's talking about her January 1st moment. Do me a favor, Gene Williams. Do me a favor, Andrea. Do me a favor, Tishika. Do me a favor, Coach Claire in the house. And Ann Brown's already started off. Look right below the video and write those words. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to get started on my diet, Shay. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to get started, get my website done. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to start walking in my purpose and my passion. Today is my January 1st. And when you make that decision and you take action, that is your January 1st. Jena Bell, it's been a pleasure so far. I know when we come back, Jena, you're going to talk and break that thing down about pathways to abundance, but really it's all about the pathways to success and how to unlock that. So when we come back, Jena, tell us about what does pathways to abundance even mean? What is his mission? What does it represent? And then more importantly, you got to give us those 3 steps. You can't get away without doing that. You know that, don't you?
Absolutely.
Look, I'm so excited. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we come back. We're going to break it down with Jena. Let's take it away and talk about how you can change lives for other folks as well. We'll be right back.
Let me ask you a question. Are you ready to take your businesses, your life, and everything that you have to an entirely different level? Yes or yes? Yes, yes. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you ready right now to change the legacy of your last name? Yes or yes? Yes, yes.
Every single day, put your mask on. It's protection. You're unprotected right now.
At the beginning, I had no one to help me. I decided I was going to become the woman that I needed the most.
She got pregnant at 17, had her son at 18 years old, and now her business just hit 6 figures. 6? Who did that help just to give you some confidence? A little.
I want you to repeat after me. There's more money in what I know than what I do. D plus D equals D. See, a decision plus discipline equals to me. Your decision to be here today does not equal your success.
Because you got in business really for 2 reasons only. One of the main reasons you got in business, what? To make what? And that's one reason. And you knew that you wanted all eyes on you while you were out there making a difference, changing lives, and making $1 at the same time. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we have a mission. And our mission is to inspire, our mission is to empower, and our mission is to provide the resources to busy entrepreneurs just like yourself so you can execute the vision for the people you were called to serve. And this morning, this evening, tonight, no matter what time it is, wherever you are, you're with the one and only, the fabulous one, the leader, the founder of Pathways to Abundance, none other than Jena L. Bell. What's up, Jena? Welcome back.
Hey Shay, how you doing? Glad to be here.
It's a great day to be alive. Monica's out there. What's up, Monica? Doran's out there. What's up? We see so many folks that are tuned in. And all of our new viewers, welcome, welcome, welcome. Jena, you're the founder of Pathways to Abundance. Take a moment and tell us, what does it mean? I mean, what is the mission of Pathways to Abundance? And when you use the word abundance, so we can all be on the same page, what does that look like? What does it feel like? How do we know when we've attained like abundance?
Oh, gosh. So exciting. So I love talking about this because what Pathways to Abundance is all about, it's about helping women claim their brilliance, to discover their purpose, and then create greater impact, greater influence, increase your intimacy, which are the relationships that you have, and then lastly is the income. So it's all tied into helping you create that pathway to financial success, to financial independence. Because and again, based upon my own story, I know that for women, oftentimes we are left in situations where we are not financially independent. And when you look at all the statistics that are out there, oftentimes it feels as though we are behind the curve. And I decided with my company, I decided with the people that I work with, that there was something that has to be done to help women to gain that financial independence so that we're not in situations where that are less beneficial to us, that we are able to make decisions that are in our best interest. And oftentimes women are left in situations, in relationships, or in jobs that are not conducive to their total well-being. And oftentimes they feel stuck because of the economic situation. So I'm on a mission. Pathways to Abundance is on a mission to help change the economic paradigm for women as it exists around the globe. Because as I began talking about my story and I began sharing, what I realized is that I was not alone, number one, and it wasn't just about the women that I knew here in the United States. It was universal. And there was a cry for help, a cry for greater resources, a cry just to get the information and the knowledge so that women could be free and economically free and begin to build that legacy. So that's why Pathways to Abundance is so exciting for me and the people that we help. And you asked another question.
Well, the other question I had is, what does abundance look like? Thanks for sharing. I can feel the passion coming through the power of these fiber optic lines right now. And I feel the vibes coming through. And you use the word abundance, and I'm just curious, what does that mean? So we understand the pathways to abundance. Does that mean we have enough? Just break that down for us for just a second.
Pathways to Abundance is about creating a path for you to create the revenue that you want, but also the life that you want. It's not about the material possessions, right? It's not about the house and the cars and all those things. Abundance is about having, number one, the mindset and understanding that there's enough for everybody. We just have to find our piece of that. And when you are purposely driven, when you are then focused on the people that you have to serve, the income really comes to you because of all the things that you're working on. But abundance, it's more than just the financial independence that I talked about. Mm-hmm. It's really about having the abundance in all aspects of your life. So your relationship, your family, your business relationship, your friendship, your community, the spirituality, and the community, if I didn't say that already, your health. It's about your health. So often our health can prevent us from moving more aggressively in the areas that we need to build on. So there are like 7 or 8 dimensions of your life, and it's about having each of those. And I tell you, Shay, I want to just tell this one story. When I was starting my journey, I went to a conference that Oprah Winfrey conducted, and it was called Live Your Best Life. And in there that I sat there, and I still have it. I wish I had pulled it out so I could show you. But she had us to rate each dimension of our lives. And then that's where you would focus. I have been focused on that ever since that day in 2015, September of 2015, and I've never left it. And I still pull it out, and each day, every year when I set my goals, I'm focused on those dimensions to make sure that I am achieving the joy in all aspects of my life. And that's what Pathways to Abundance is all about.
Wow.
It's about you achieve that.
Yeah, I learned so much, Jena. Even as much as I've spoken with you and had a chance to hang out with you, I learned every time we have a conversation. I learn more. I'm curious, based on your experience and your lifetime of work of which you already have, what do you think is the number one reason or one of the top reasons that hold women back, who you focus on, women back from really walking in their purpose or walking in their passion? What holds them back?
I'm so glad you asked that question, Shay. It's not what you believe. It's not what you would even think. It's not lack of talent. It's not lack of desire. It is not lack of skills. The single most critical aspect that holds women back, and that affects women more so than men, is what we believe about ourselves. It's that confidence level. It's that courage. No matter how smart we are, and I say we because it affects all women, no matter how talented we are, no matter how successful we've been, there's always that knowing perception that gets in the back of our mind, that gets into our spirit, that says you're not good enough, you're not enough. And it's that then keeps us oftentimes stalled. And that's why when you asked the question a while ago, what are those 3 steps? Yeah, I could go right into practical steps, but I can also tell you, none of that matters if what you believe about yourself does not propel you forward to take action on those practical steps. So it starts all with what you believe about yourself. And surprisingly or not, most people know that. And a lot of people will sometimes take advantage of that. But when I looked at statistics that show that women in generating revenue, we generate over $1.7 trillion, but we only represent about 4.3% of the private sector revenue. One of the things that's holding us back is that we're not believing in ourselves that we can achieve those numbers, higher numbers, that we can generate that revenue. So that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, because I know that's fixable. And I know that when you look at all the incredible women that are out there, if you look at some of the most successful women, it's because they've decided to step into their power and to claim their brilliance and to know who they are and what they believe about themselves says, I'm enough and I can get it done. And what I don't know, I'll figure it out, but I'm going to keep it going. And that's how you get people like Oprah Winfrey or Marie Forleo or Ava DuVernay, all of those individuals. And it's not to say that they never have doubts. It's just they've decided to go against them and keep moving forward.
Wow, powerful, powerful. When you hear the words as you're speaking out there, very powerful words. When you mention something a couple of times, I'm looking at Arlene Spam, who's out there right now, and then Valerie, who's out there, Patricia Register's out there, and Lavonda, and so many folks are out there cheering you on right now. And you said something a couple of times that I heard. You said the 3 words, I am enough. I am enough. Do me a favor, everyone that's out there watching right now, everyone that's listening right now, hit the share button. Hit the share button. Just write the words, I am enough. Hashtag pathways to abundance. Just put I am enough. Hashtag pathway to abundance. And if you do that, Gene, I'm going to ask you the question. We hear the words I am enough. What do you hear? And then what would you put on the end of that, right? So you might have a few of those I am enough phrases. I want you to think through that. But as you're out there right now, here's how you can participate. Here's how you can bless someone else. Here's how you can pay the message forward. Look right below the video. Look right below the video. Just write these words. I am enough. Hashtag pathways to abundance. Just put I am enough. And that's just a signal. And when you see those words from someone else, hit the heart button. Hit the like button. Let them know that they are enough and that you do stand for them and you do represent them. Do that right now. Jena Bell, the question is, when you hear the words, I am enough, and I want you to say those words, Gina. I want you to say, I am enough. And when you do that, talk about what it means, then talk about what they should put on the other side of those words.
Wow. I am enough. Yeah. I am enough to fulfill the vision that God has given me. I am enough to fulfill the purpose for which I have been created to fulfill. I am enough to change lives. I am enough to earn the revenue that I need to create financial independence. I am enough that each and every day that I wake up, I am enough. I have all the tools that I need inside of me. And all I have to do is to use what God has given me. But I am enough. I've been uniquely created, and everything about me is enough to fulfill the assignment that God has on my life.
Wow. And do you believe it, Gina?
Absolutely.
Do you really, really believe it?
I do. I really believe it. And you know what? And what happens, and this is one of the things that I walk through with my clients, and that is that I have them because a lot of times we start thinking that we're not enough because we have not looked at all the clues that are evident that we are more than enough. So we are oftentimes clueless because we have failed to make the list of clues that demonstrate time after time after time how we have shown up, how we have showed out, and we have been more than enough to do what we need to do. One of the things I think about that I was telling you, I was the first female and the only female now in the 60-year history of the program that I was running, and the only African American. I didn't know anything about that, but I knew about business, and I knew I was passionate, and I knew what I wanted to achieve and what would be good for the people that we serve. And so I went in it. And it was so funny. I remember they came back and they told me that I was the only one that had put together a full strategic plan on what I was going to do my first 2 years in the job. So I got the job hands down because I had a plan of action. I had no idea. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was more than enough. And what I didn't know, I learned along the way. And that's how we have to continuously remind ourselves that whenever we face trials, whenever we face tribulations or things happen, we just got to go back and look at the clues of our success that have given us more and more evidence that we are more than enough.
I like it. I am enough. Powerful words. Tashika put I am enough. Ann Brown put I am enough. Dee Bolden put I am enough. Kim Warren Martin put I am enough. And indeed, I want you to know right now that you are enough. And we come back, the one and only Jena L. Bell, she's going to talk about the 3 steps that you need to take to unlock the keys to your success. That's a Shea Brown remix on her title. But at the end of the day, she's going to give you those 3. She's going to unlock those for you when we come back. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back in just a moment. Are you ready to come back, Gina, in a moment?
I'm ready.
But you got to wait. She said, I'm ready. She showed up ready, by the way. All right, Dorsey Hill, take it away. We're going over to Houston, Texas, to the one and only Dorsey Hill, who talks about you got to do some Persian to get going. We'll be back. And I'm sorry, they tell me we're going to Letitia. Sorry, Letitia Nicole down in Raleigh, North Carolina. Take it away. You have the authority.
Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl, Letitia Nicole, CEO, founder of Speak Life Enterprises, where I teach powerful, amazing entrepreneurs like yourself how to speak positive words into the atmosphere, which shall not return to them void. Now, before I start with my thought of the week, I'm going to say today is my January the 1st. And I have to speak to the amazing Shay Brown. How you doing, Shay Brown? Thank you so much for allowing me to speak to this amazing group of entrepreneurs. So, with my thought of the week, listen to me. Now, all of you have authority over something. God is giving you something. Now, you got to listen to me. He has given you authority to trample over snakes and scorpions. Okay, y'all got to listen to me. Got to listen to me. And all the power of the enemy. Y'all, do you hear me? Do you hear me? Nothing can harm you. So why don't you, when you show up in your business, why don't you show up with the authority that you've been given? You've been given authority to get those contracts. You've been given authority to walk with your back straight and to call it and say what you want for your business. So take your authority. You've been given authority to trample over snakes and scorpions, and you have power over them all, honey. I'm going to just tell you the truth, all right? And nothing can harm you. So stand up in your authority to run your business. All right? You guys, my name is Letitia Nicole, and I speak life so that we all may have life more abundantly. But until next time, walk in your authority. All right? Thank you.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is really to empower. It is to inspire, and it's to provide you with the resources. That's why Jena Bell's here. To provide you with the resources. That's why she's about to unlock the keys to your success. To provide you with the resources necessary to really execute that big vision that was given to you. First, the vision for yourself, the way you want to live. The vision for your loved ones, the ones you support and you care about. And then the vision for the people you were called to serve. And so with that being said, I'm going to go back over to Jena Bell. And before we left, Jena Bell made a promise. And the promise was, Shay, I'm going to unlock the keys to help people achieve success in their life. So Jena Bell, give us one, not all three. Give us one of the keys to unlocking the pathway to your success.
The first key to unlocking that pathway to your success is once you have discovered your purpose, is to then be in complete alignment with that purpose. And what I talk about in the alignment is the alignment in what you're going to do, how your business, it becomes your North Star for your business and how you live your life. Because when you are in alignment with that purpose, with all that you've been created to be, it begins to open up more and more possibilities for you. So the first thing is to make sure that you're in alignment with your purpose.
Step number 1 is be in alignment with your purpose. Look right below the video and put step number 1. Be in alignment with your purpose. Hello to the one and only, the fabulous attorney herself, Tony Moore. Thanks for joining. Dwayne Reynolds, it is a pleasure. That was step number 1. Step number 1. All right, Jena. Jump roll. Step number 2. What is step number 2?
Step number 2 is define the product.
Okay.
Define the problem that you're going to solve.
Okay. Now, what if you have multiple problems? Like, I'm sure I'm only speaking to Shay Brown. I have more than one problem I need to solve. So you said define the problem, and maybe I'm struggling in my finances. I'm struggling in my health. The relationship's not working. This has nothing to do with your steps, by the way, but I'm just curious, like, where do you suggest your clients even start? No, seriously, like, everybody says define the problem. The problem is so big. Like, what does Jena Bell tell folks? I'm just curious, by the way.
So as I said, when we work on all the dimensions of your life, it's about looking at the one that's creating the most heartache for you. Because you can't solve them all at the same time, but usually there's one or two that will then impact everything. So when you can focus on one of those aspects, and it's the same thing as when you're setting your goals. You can't do everything, because if you have too many goals, you're going to be too far stretched. So it's about focusing in on the one thing, one or two things that will then create the greatest leverage for you in solving many of your problems. So it might be finances, but oftentimes when you're looking at your finances, usually there's something else that's triggering the financial piece. And a lot of times that's the relationship that you have with money and how you're spending. So it gets to your belief system. So I have my clients to really do a lot of internal work first, because it's that internal work that they need in order to spring forward.
Now, what are you telling about mindset? And that's good stuff. So thanks for sharing that, by the way. That was really good. So, okay. Again, it's just me and a couple, tens of thousands of folks who are eavesdropping on our conversation right now. By the way, they're all eavesdropping. But whenever I have to talk about the problem and write it down, mentally, I just get drained. Now, it just might be me, Jena, because it's like, oh my gosh, I got to think about the problems. And when I start writing them down, it becomes real. And it gets a little overwhelming for me. And it gets a little scary, to be honest with you. What would you say to the person out there that's like, all right, Jena, that sounds great. I'm going to define the problem. And then mentally, this voice starts playing in the back of your head. And it can take your energy, at least takes my energy down. What do you tell people to do in those situations? I mean, because you got to define the problem.
You gotta define a problem, Shay, because if you don't do that, you're gonna always be stuck. You're gonna gloss over it, and then you're gonna just stumble over it later. So what we have to realize is that, first of all, things happen, right? And we gotta face them. If we never face them, we can never solve them. We can ask God for any and everything, but until we accept and face what's right there before us, we can never get to a solution. So this is all about making the decision that I want my life to be different, making a decision that I want my business to be different. So understand what it is that's holding you back, face it, accept it, with the idea that you now have options to solve it. A lot of times we get stuck because we're not facing the reality of what we have before us. But when you can face it, then you can figure out how to solve it. And until those underlying issues, and a lot of times they're our mindset, but until those underlying issues are really addressed, then all they're going to do is continue to repeat themselves. So that's what the exercise is all about, is so that you will then be able to face it, figure it out, and come up with solutions. And once you do that, you realize that you have multiple solutions. It's not just one way. Otherwise, you're going to sweep it under the carpet or under the rug. And guess what? You're going to continue to stumble over it. So why not do it now? When you've made a decision that you want your life to be different, then you have to be willing to face it. So if you have 5 or 6 issues, normally there's 1 or 2 that's really causing it. And that's what you have to face.
Wow. That's very powerful. And what I take away from that outside of the passion was I can face it. But you said something that was key to me. And for those folks that are out there listening, you might want to write this down. What was key to me, and it might be $1 million idea that she just shared with us, was that you have options. No, once you face it, you're not facing it alone. You're not facing it by yourself. You have options. I heard Shay, you got options. And if you follow those options and you take action, it's possible. And Jena, that was so relieving just for me. So thank you for sharing. I know you're going to get to point number 3 in a minute. When we come back, you're going to wrap that thing up and give us point number 3 and then bring all 3 of those together. But for those folks that are listening right now, you're listening to the one and only Jena L. Bell. She's the founder of Pathways to Abundance. She's making a difference for women. She's empowering them and making sure they not only are successful in their business or successful in their life, but they're successful on the inside. And isn't that a great segue to the person we're going to down in Little Rock, Arkansas, the one and only Kim Warren Martin, who we're going to, and she says, Shay, success is an inside job. What? Let's go see what Kim got to say. We'll be back in just a moment.
How about this amazing day, happy entrepreneurs? It's your January 1st, and you guys rock. This is Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled, with part 5 of a 7-part series on the thought that success is an inside job. If you missed parts 1 through 4, don't worry. Just go on over to the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe Facebook group and check out the videos there. So today, let's talk about what's going on with you socially. How are your relationships? On a personal level, with your family, your friends, your spouse, significant other, and importantly, with yourself. And professionally, how are your relationships with clients, business partners, employees, and vendors, and so on? Are they healthy or unhealthy? Are they better in some areas than others? I believe life is all about relationships, and building healthy relationships offers mutual benefits that can be profitable in many, many ways. So here's a simple 3-step exercise to begin to determine the health of your relationships. Step 1, make a list of the relationships that are top of mind for you, and then rate them on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is unhealthy and 5 is thriving. Step 2, for any relationships you rated 3 or less, evaluate how they can be improved. Do you value those relationships? Are you valued in them? What can you and the other parties do to get them to a 4 or 5? And step 3, if you determine the relationships are not of value to you or the other parties, and you don't see how you can get it to a 4 or 5, then look at how you can end the relationship and bring closure with dignity to both parties. Don't just disappear or go ghost. So that's a simple process to help evaluate your relationships on a regular basis. Remember this, whether personally or professionally, a healthy relationship doesn't drag you down, it inspires you to be better. This is Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled. See you next week for part 6 of Success is an Inside Job. Until then, make it a great day and a fabulous week. Back over to you, Shay.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur and the host of the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, the Happy Entrepreneur Show, where our mission is really to provide the resources that busy entrepreneurs need in order to support the vision they have for themselves, the vision they have for their loved ones, and the vision they have for the people they were called to serve. And isn't that so important? Isn't that so true? So Jena Bell, she's taken up the mantle, and she's sharing with you resources that you can use. And she gave us 2 keys to unlocking your success. I'm going to ask her to give us a quick recap on those 2, and then give us number 3, Jena. Give us number 3 on what we need to do right now to unlock our success that will lead us to this life of abundance.
Absolutely. So the first thing I talked about was discovering your purpose and then getting in alignment with that purpose. And that alignment is across all aspects of your life and all aspects of your business, or even if your career. Because one of the things that we know is that who you are in your business is a direct reflection of who you are in your personal life. So if you don't start with your personal life, then it's going to continue to impact. And I know a lot of people say that you can compartmentalize it, but what I know to be true, Shay, from my own experience, is you end up masking. And masking only leads to health issues for you. And it's only so long you can mask before it starts showing up physically in your body. So discovery of your purpose and alignment. The second thing is, just to recap, is to now define what that problem is. Once you've defined that problem, it's about understanding what your options are. And the third thing is about taking action. You have to take the action. So whether that is aligning yourself with different people, if that is changing things that you're doing, your behaviors, or if it is the resolution to the problem that you've identified. And I want to give you an example. And during the course of my own, and again, Shay, I have to tell you, I'm a product of what I'm talking about, the program I'm talking about, is that I formulated a whole system around the SOAR principle. And it's about just taking action. And the first thing you have to do is to step back, observe, aim, and then redeploy. And I say that as part of the action, because when you can do that, when you understand you've made that decision that I want my life to change, or I want to make this impact in the world, you have to make decisions and you have to be able to execute on them and be consistent and diligent in those actions until you've achieved that what you want. But those are the things and the basic elements that are so critical before you jump into some of these other things. And there are a lot of practical steps that we go through and starting our businesses and all those things. But if you really want to unlock your pathway to success, it starts on the inside. And it's what you do, what you believe about yourself, and what you then are able to move forward with in the decisions that you're making for your life and for your family.
Wow. Powerful, powerful, powerful. I love it. I love it. Now, I know you talk a lot about overflow as well. And can you take a moment to talk about what overflow looks like and what overflow means?
Let me give you an example.
And you have to frame the conversation because I didn't really give them the context of overflow.
I will. So one of my mantras is living life in the overflow. And I believe that happens when we are in full alignment of that purpose. But what overflow really is, and the way I like to define it, first I want to start with an example. And so often, and I'm talking to everybody, but mostly to women right now, because I think we as women it's part of our DNA and how we serve. And we serve, we give and give and give and give. And we're always pouring into somebody else, into our churches, into our communities, into our jobs, into our families, all these things. And then one day we realize we have nothing more to give because internally we're empty, because along the way we forgot to give to ourselves. We forgot to pour on the inside and keep ourselves full, so that when we give, we're giving from the overflow of that abundance that we now experience for ourselves. And it's that joy, that happiness, but it's the replenishing of ourselves and that fulfillment that Kim Martin just talked about. It's that fulfillment that we get that then spreads out in total overflow. And then just imagine you have a tea kettle and you're pouring in the cup, right? And the cup is overflowing. And what you're giving to everybody else is all of that overflow. And you're continuously pouring in yourself. And that's the vision that I have. And when I talk about abundance, when I talk about living life in the overflow, it's because you have learned as an individual to be self-belief. And I want to say that again. And they can write it in you guys can write it in the feed. Oftentimes people will accuse other individuals that appear to be centered on themselves to be selfish. But selfish is when there's an absence of consideration for other people. But self-belief says that you have now included yourself in the list of priorities. So you're taking care of yourself. You're filling yourself with all those things that you need to stay whole and to stay vibrant. And then it's that overflow that continues to flow out, and you have so much more to give. And so it's living life in that overflow condition, in that constant state of overflow. Because as you give, you're also giving to yourself and all the things that you enjoy in your life.
Wow. God, I love it. I mean, you get me pumped up. Can a guy join this? Can I put down, it's time for my overflow? Hashtag pathways to abundance.
In the overflow.
It's time to live in the overflow. It's time to live in the overflow. As you're out there listening right now, you're out there listening, Deborah Gardner, I see you, Deborah Gardner, out there in Phoenix, Arizona. I see you, Helen. I see you, Harvest. Just look right below the video and write these words. It's time to live in my overflow. I love that. It's time for me to live in my Overflow. It's your time. When someone writes those words, hit the heart button, hit the share button, because we come back, I'm going to talk to Jena L. Bell, and I'm going to ask her about this book that she has that's out there, by the way, and that's going to be pretty cool. And then we're going to go into rapid fire, because she's here tonight, not only just to change your life, but to unlock the keys to your what? To your abundance and to your overflow. We'll be back in just a moment. Having a great time. Jena, are you having a good time or what?
I am, Kay. I'm having a wonderful time.
Good answer. So am I, and all of you out there. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the founder of the Happy Entrepreneur Network and the host of the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, the Happy Entrepreneur Show. And I'm super excited. I'm over the moon. Just enjoyed to be able to share this special VIP invitation for you to join me at thecloseconference.com. Just look right below the video, and go to closeconference.com, an opportunity for you to attend virtually or in person. Now, who is this for? If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a speaker, if you're a coach, if you're a network marketer, if you're in the personal professional development, or you're just someone right now that is overwhelmed and overworked and you need to generate some qualified leads of people who want to work with you, whether they come from online leads or offline leads, then you need to be there. Or maybe you're someone that wants to, you say, well, Shay, right now I have what's called yo-yo entrepreneur type of revenue, right? Reasons, but no results. So it's time for you really to put together your own 7-figure revenue generating infrastructure so you can make more money without your labor. You can take back your time and you can take back your life. Then you want to be there. Or maybe you just want to be able to broadcast just like I'm doing right now. I'm at Broadcastpreneur Studios right here in this set right now. And you need to reach your audience online through the power of those fiber optic lines. Then you need to be at what? Thecloseconference.com. Or maybe it's just time for you to get all the resources you need in your business so you can serve the people you were called to serve and have more meaning in the world, have more impact in the world, and make $1 and a difference at the same time. If that's you, look right below the video, and go to closeconference.com. I promise you'll learn about how to generate unlimited sponsorships. You'll learn about how to tell your story and have more impact. And more importantly, you're going to have more success, more joy, and more happiness in your business. I'm so excited. Look, join me at closeconference.com. Share this with all your friends. I'm looking forward to seeing you. My promise to you is it'll be a good use of your time. My promise to you is that you're going to generate more revenue than you've ever generated before in your life and have more happiness. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and I promise you we'll make some good things how we connect again next time. God bless, and I wish you success. See you soon.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country, where our mission is really to provide the resources, those resources that you need in order to execute the vision you have for yourself, the vision you have for your loved ones, and more importantly, the vision you have for those people you were called to serve. And we're here with none other than Jena L. Bell, the founder of Pathways to Abundance. And I thought I would take a moment as folks are writing it's time to live in my overflow, like Dee Bowden or Nicole Brown Hurston, William Byers, I see you. Thanks for joining. Tashik, thanks for joining as well. Take a moment, Jena. I know you recently came out with a book. We got to do another episode on the book, okay? We got to do an episode on it. But I want you to take a moment and tell us the title of the book, and tell us the narrative inside the book and why that narrative is important right now for women all over the world as you travel globally, why it's important now.
Absolutely, Shay. I have a copy right here.
Of course you do. I would be disappointed if you didn't have a copy of it right there.
It is entitled Mirror Affirmations. And the premise of the book is about helping women or helping the reader to really understand that they are powerful, that each of us have a calling on our lives for that purpose, that assignment. And in order for us to truly step into it and begin to live a purpose-driven life, we have to first shed all of the past, the hurt, the pain, the disappointment, all of those things that have a tendency to penetrate our souls and keep us in a place of complacency, keep us in a place of sadness, keep us in a place of disappointment. And maybe individuals have experienced trauma in their lives. For me, it was the death of my father. For me, it was the divorce, all of those things. But what I realized, Shay, is that those things then impacted me on a regular basis. A lot of times they were subconscious, but I had not fully dealt with them. So the book was designed around helping you to understand what those issues are and to rewrite the storyline. Rewrite it. Understand the message and the mess that you've already been to. Understand how now the lessons that you've learned now have created the uniquely designed person that you are, and now provide you with a testimony, and that every test that you've been through is nothing but a testimony that you have now that gives you the richness and allows you to move forward in a life that's full of abundance. But before you can really step into it, it's about shedding. So it's about the mirror affirmations. Who you see in the mirror is who you expect to see. So unless you start expecting to see greatness, the powerful woman, that powerful man, you're going to always see the past. And for me, I had a choice. I had a decision to make. Do I see the woman who divorced, lonely, mid-career, now without a job? Or do I see the woman now who's now embarking on a life that she had never dreamed of and now experiencing things she's never experienced before? Traveling the world globally. So that's the choice that we have to make. So when I see myself in the mirror, I see someone totally different than what my circumstances would say. And that's what the book is all about.
Wow, powerful, powerful, power. We're with the one and only Jena L. Bell, the founder of Pathways to Abundance. Jena, who's been a mentor for you? We're going to something called rapid fire now. Rapid fire is where I get to ask a question, and you take maybe 30 seconds to a minute and answer a question. But who's been a mentor along this journey? But more importantly, what's one lesson they taught you that you would share with those folks that are listening right now?
Okay, I'm going to give you two. I know you said one, and I'll try to answer it really quickly. Well, I'm going to say this because I think the best advice that I ever got in my life, and I'm so fortunate that I've always had people in my corner, is that it was my father. And I mentioned to you that my father died when I was young. But the one thing that he always told me that stayed with me is never be concerned about the opinions of other people. Just do your part. Just do your part and don't be concerned. And so that has stayed with me so that throughout my career, throughout my life, it has positioned me in a place to where things can roll off very quickly. It hasn't always been like that. But as I've grown in my walk, as I've grown in my purpose, it falls off a whole lot easier. But that was one. So my father stays there as that guiding force. And the second is, there's been so many. I've had mentors. I've had, but on the entrepreneurial journey, the very first coach that I had and a mentor was JT Fox. And the one thing that JT did for me, he's done many, but the one thing that he did was he expanded my vision for myself and for my business. And he opened up this world of possibilities. And as I realized that as coaches and as I coach, part of what people can do is they can see outside of the frame. That when you're so close inside the frame, we miss things. And even coaches can miss it. And even coaches have coaches, because you need someone who's going to be able to look beyond your current circumstances or look beyond that frame and see a wider view for you.
Wow, see a wider view. We're here talking to one and only Jena Bell. She's breaking it down for us. When we come back, I'm going to ask Jena Bell if she'll give her final comments, her thoughts for those folks that are out there right now. First, she'll come back to tell us how we can contact her, and then I'm going to ask her for her final thoughts. As entrepreneurs, we got to go out there. We got to live a life of overflow, but more importantly, we got to be on that pathway to abundance. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll go over to none other than Dorsey Hill over in Houston, Texas. She's saying, look, you got to purge some things first.
Hello, hi, howdy everyone. It's your girl, Dorsey Hill, the founder of the Healthy, Happy, Fun Life Network. And I'm so thrilled to be back again for another Thought of the Week with the fantabulous Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. So say it with me because you know it's coming. Why are we happy? Because it's our January 1. Our January 1. It's my January, your January, our January 1. Yeah. So I'm so excited to be back here with you. And remember, we've been talking about doing a pleasure purge. Now, what is that? In case you're not sure, well, you need to go back and listen to some of the other episodes and you'll know exactly what I mean. So we created a list of things that are not making you happy in your mindset, your body, and your spirit. Now we are going to, well, actually last week you should have taken that list and started looking for patterns within that list so you can clump things together. So this week you're going to take that list that you've made of things that aren't making you happy, aren't bringing you pleasure, and are not enriching you on some level between your mind, your body, and your spirit. And you should see big chunks where, ooh, this is something I need to address right away. Unfortunately, some of this may be people you need to let go of. It may be something at your job you need to let go of. It may mean you need to create a spiritual habit if you don't have one. Whatever the case may be, this week, you're going to start taking that list, looking at those clumps and categories of things, and unfortunately, you're going to have to start letting some things go. I say unfortunately because it is difficult. I understand. Folks, in order to be happy, sometimes you gotta let some things go to create newly, all right? So it's gonna be okay. Just start with one or two things that aren't serving you and let those go this week with love and gratitude. Well, as always, it was a pleasure being here, and my wish for each and every one of you until next time is that you're happy, you're healthy, and you're having a ton of fun in this life that you're living and creating. My biggest Texas love and hugs to each and every one of you. Bye-bye for now. Mwah. See you later.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur and the host of the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, the Happy Entrepreneur Show, where we're on a mission to really provide the resources necessary for busy entrepreneurs to execute that vision for the people you were called to serve. And I want to thank none other than Jena L. Bell, who's been here sharing her vision, sharing her resources, sharing her time. We know that Jena can always make more money, but guess what, Carol? Guess what, Peggy Morris? She can't always make more time. And we know that to be true. So Jena, first, if you will, take a moment and tell folks how can they contact you and the type of person that you're looking for, your organization is looking for to working with.
So Shay, so let me say this, is that I told you at the beginning that I'm on a mission. And my mission is to help women to create financial independence, because I know what it's like to be stuck and stuck in situations where you feel you don't have decisions or you don't have options. And one of the things that's freeing is when you have economic freedom. And so I'm on a mission to help women through entrepreneurship and understanding and building wealth through the 4 pillars of wealth. And individuals can contact me if they're interested in learning more about the program. But I have set it up where I'm looking for 100 women around the globe that are interested in launching their business and going into entrepreneurship, so that they will be able to create the life that they want. They'll be able to create a legacy and they'll be able to have financial independence. And it's changing that economic paradigm. And so women can contact me. I have my text number. I have a number that they can text. That's the easiest for you to do, is to simply just text the word 100 Club to the number 415-417-0817. Again, that's 415-417-0817 to find out more information. And then, of course, you can always follow me on social media. I'm on all of the social media outlets at Jena L. Bell. And you can also contact me there. My website is www.jenalbell.com. But if you text that number, then we can set up time to talk about your future.
Fantastic. Once again, Jena L. Bell, the founder of Pathways to Abundance. Let me first say thank you. Let me tell you that we appreciate you. We appreciate your time, appreciate your expertise. We appreciate your experience. And we appreciate that you're just a really cool person to work with. I mean, you're like super smart. She's super incredible. She's being very humble right now. But if you get a chance to hang out with Jena Bell, I suggest you do it. If you get a chance to have a conversation with Jena Bell, I suggest you do it. I promise you, your life will be changed because she's just Jena Bell. You're going to love it. So, Jena, if you would, take a moment and share your final thoughts. I mean, for those entrepreneurs out there, these lights are going to go out. Okay, this camera will go off. You won't be sitting there cheering, saying, I am enough, I am enough, live in overflow, live in overflow. But they'll have your words to take with them. Go ahead and share your final thoughts. And again, thank you so much. We've got to have you back on the show. I can't wait. I can't wait to hang out. We need more time. I got to talk to these folks. We need more time, Jena, but we don't. So I'll turn it over to you to have your final thoughts. Again, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. Looking forward to having you back.
Thank you so much, Shay. You know I love you. Mwah. And to the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, I love you all. You guys are really fantastic. And I just want to say that I'm a night owl, so I can hang all night. But for those of you that are hanging here tonight, I just say thank you so much. And I wish you the best. And I want to leave you with these words. And that is, I want you to remember, God has created you for a purpose, for an assignment on your life. It's up to you to discover it and to walk into it and to embrace it. And when you do, your life changes. And no matter what happens in your life, no matter what circumstances, you can face them and you can overcome them. And you can begin to change the game and begin to disrupt, because you are more than enough and you are purposed for this that God has created you to be. You can and will, because you are purposed for this. And those are my parting words.
Well, once again, thank you so much, Jena Bell. I want you to know that, again, you're incredible. You're amazing. We love you. We appreciate you. And to all the happy entrepreneurs out there, thank you for tuning in. All of our new viewers, come back and see us, by the way. And all of you who tune in every single episode, we appreciate the comments below. Every one of you. Tashika, thanks for all your comments. Nicole, thanks for all your comments. Dale Johnson, thanks for joining in. Carol Rose, thanks for joining in. Peggy Morris, I could go on and on and on, but all of you right now, every time you make a comment, you pay this message forward. You are amazing. So with that being said, I want you to know that you're incredible. You are amazing, as she said. You've got so much greatness inside you. And I know with 100% certainty that the best is yet to come for you. I know the best is yet to come for you. I know the best is yet to come for you. Why do you know that, Shay? Because I believe that today is your January 1st. You're going to get started. Today is your January 1st, a rebirth and a restart. And this is your moment. This is your time. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you again. With that being said, by the way, my name, by the way, for those folks that are tuning in for the very first time, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, yeah, we're going to make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless. And I wish every single one of you success.
Please go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
And I'm here right now in this moment with none other than the one and only Dr. Willie Jolly. What's up, my friend?
It's a privilege and a pleasure and a treat and a treasure to be in your presence.
All right, Delator, we're going to get started. You ready, Delator?
I'm ready, friend.
You ready, Dr. Connect?
Ready.
No, none other than Andy Henriquez. And we have someone like a Dr. Sonia, who's a bad sister. All right, now, go ahead with your bad self. None other than the Kim Warren Martin.
That's the promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Thank you. God bless.